It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Russ.
And Murray's not here this week. Why isn't Murray here this week, Jim?
Murray is working.
Weak. Give me a better excuse. On his tan. Alright. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Well, thanks for all supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform, or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film, and we'll watch it if it played anywhere in the world, in a cinema, and it's not a children's movie. We'll see it. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event, or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca. So usually Murman's not here, but you've still got the goods on what he predicts. Is that the case this week?
I do not.
What? So not only does he not show, he puts no effort in. None.
He is definitely not the Amazing Merman this week.
No, he is an albatross around my neck right now. What is going on? I mean, there's pulling your weight, and then there's not. And Merman is not.
I think it's called pulling your pud.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what I mean. Actually, that's probably.
I'm still happy. I still get to listen to the Merman Predicts music, so.
Yeah. I wish you could have done the music singing justice like you know that I do, but you can't hit those notes.
I think I probably could, but that's another story. All right, I guess we're just gonna get right into it. I can't believe there's no Merman that's like half our podcast now. Between Merman Predicts and the Merman Minute, that's about 45 minutes out of the hour that we talk. So this is going to be the fastest podcast ever. I mean, we're going to be stretching for time.
That's right. The listeners are going to be going, I want my money back.
I tell you. All right. Still a good song.
Yeah. It's like literally the best song. And you got to see a movie I couldn't see because I'm not with you this week. I am calling in from another planet.
Really? I thought you just didn't want to come over. You mean you're not in Calgary?
Well, surprise. Well, I would say I'm from, but I'm definitely not from Uranus. That's where I'm not from.
I don't understand the joke.
Yeah, I guess it's because it's actually pronounced Uranus, isn't it?
I don't know.
But isn't there another one called your rectum?
Hey, Jim, grow up.
Yeah. I'll pass.
All right. So I got to see Land of Bad. You did not.
Yes.
And I'll let you know if that was good or bad.
All right.
We'll see. Maybe it was Land of Good. Really good. Maybe it wasn't.
Oh.
I mean, come on. I'm not a big war movie guy. Never have been. And it's a war movie. It stars Russell Crowe as a drone pilot. He sits in a chair, sucks back energy drinks, and waxes poetic with a soldier on the ground played by one of them Hemsworth boys. I believe it was Liam. Although there's also another Hemsworth boy in the film. I don't even know what his name is. Yeah, there's like a bunch of them. It's not the other guy that's like Thor. It's some other one that's not quite
non-Thor.
Yeah, he's not quite as handsome as the other two. That's all I know.
So they have a blonde and they have a brunette. So
Yeah.
is the
I
other
don't
one
know.
a
He had
redhead?
a helmet on most of the time, and he's kind of made up, kind of
so he's
greasy
helmet
like,
head.
because he's a soldier. Anyways,
Was his name Helmut Helmsworth?
yes, his name was Helmut Hemsworth. You got me saying Helmsworth. What are you doing? At any rate, in between energy drinks, Russell gets angry at people, and Hemsworth gets shot at, and stuff gets blowed up. The villains in this are from Southeast Asia. Whatever that
Generic.
means. It's like, what? They're from Southeast Asia. You know where they are? They're in Southeast Asia doing stuff. They're trying to get some hostage back or something, and then unbelievably, things go wrong. Things don't go according to plan. There's all this
Sounds like it's surprising.
There's all this technology versus man on the ground, weird dynamic, trying to like decide which one's better. And it's like, well, neither really. You're still killing people, so whatever.
And you're still in an unnamed country because you're too
Yeah,
afraid
they're
to
in
say it.
Southeast Asia. Come on. So the villains are really cartoon-like, which is kind of not really believable. But we get to see Russell Crowe dance at the end. So, it was meh. And I'm serious. The movie was meh. It's really not as bad as I'm making it seem, but it's still not good. Russell
Totally
Crowe
making
has his
it sound
moments
like
in
it's
it.
Terrible.
What's that?
You're totally making it sound terrible.
I know, but it wasn't that bad.
So was it a comedy? Were you laughing a lot?
Well, I was laughing, but it wasn't a comedy. But Russell Crowe was supposed to be funny in some parts. In other parts, he probably wasn't supposed to be funny, but it was still funny. And you know what? It wasn't terrible. It needed to be 20 minutes less. But I'll tell you what, dude that directed it, he directed some other movie that I really hated, but he is good at filming these action sequences and with stuff blowing up and stuff. The stuff blowing up and looked really good, like when missiles were crashing into the side. The other thing that was weird though is in this cave in Southeast Asia, they almost had like this almost dungeon that was built into the cave that was kind of like, the Hostel movies? It kind of looked like Hostel. It was where they got that guy, the guys with the aprons and there's all sorts. Yeah, it was weird.
Torture gear?
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know that it would have been like that. But it was still meh because it wasn't that bad.
Well, and what saved The Pope's Exorcist was a significant amount of time where Russell Crowe was riding a scooter. So if you got Russell Crowe doing something...
Russell Crowe just sitting in a chair knocking back energy drinks is entertaining. I'm sorry.
Well, and on top of that, dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of just...
The
I'm
dancing.
Just gonna watch
yeah,
him
you
dance.
just forward to the end and watch him dance. It's good stuff. He's gonna be the best man at this lady's at her what would you be a best man at? Oh yeah, her wedding. So
a wedding.
Yes,
right.
yeah.
In Southeast Asia.
Yeah. She wants him to be part of the wedding part. No, she wanted him to walk him down the aisle. Now, spoiler alert. She wants him to walk him down the aisle. That's what it was. So she's
was the movie in Southeast North America or
the movie? Well, they're in North America. They're in Las Vegas. Because they're nowhere near the action. He's a drone pilot. So he's talking to this guy in Southeast Asia. with drones blowing up stuff, and then also calling in airstrikes from other airplanes and so. Oh, it was crazy. All sorts of stuff was going on. But at the end of the
they
day,
didn't even have to go to Southeast Asia.
no.
They
Well,
just-
Russell Crowe didn't. Russell Crowe just had to sit in a chair and drink energy drinks.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, at one point we get to and we get to watch him grocery shop, which was also pretty good. And he also gets to tell the joke that I'm kind of tired of hearing, but it's also kind of true. Do you want to know the joke?
Yeah, of course I want to know that. That's all I want to know right now.
How can you tell someone's a vegan?
Okay.
Because they'll
I
tell
don't know.
you so.
That's literally the best. It's not even a joke. It's just the truth.
It's the truth.
Like-
well, how else are people going to know that you have some dietary restrictions if you don't tell them? Come on.
Exactly. Like, I was out for dinner tonight, and a guy had a shellfish allergy.
There you
Of
go.
course he's going to tell us that.
Yes.
Because I was going to order lobster. But,
And I have an allergy to eating things with faces. So there you go.
yeah, exactly. Severe allergy, too, by the way.
Yes. It's the gross. Anyways, and it's, not ethical and all that other stuff, and not really that
Well,
not that
let's not-
healthy. And
Let's not take this joke too far.
it's no joke. Everybody should be vegan. Anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Oh, there.
Let's
here
move
we go. This
on.
is where the joke makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the first movie that I saw
Yes.
was called Bob Marley, One Love.
Just one love.
Just one. There's not two loves, just one.
All right.
Although with Bob Marley, I think there was a significant amount more than just one love
yeah.
from the rumor mill.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Who would know really to just touch upon that in this movie? It's like, what?
Yeah. Well,
I
let
mean,
me tell you a
they
little bit
definitely
more
tell
about
you,
that.
but at the same time, it's like, what?
Yeah. Let me
Anyways.
tell you a little bit about that.
All right. I think
So,
we're going to have
first off, let's-
basically the same review, by the way, but go ahead.
Possibly, but maybe not.
All right. Go for it.
So first, let's clear the air on a couple of things. This is a U.S.-made biopic
Yep.
that has a British actor,
Yep.
and as great as he may be, doing a Jamaican accent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these things are usually enough to make me rage through an entire movie.
Yeah.
And for all of you who don't know this about me, my mother was born in Jamaica, as was my grandmother and her grandmother before that. And they all had huge Jamaican accents.
Mhm.
And Kingsley Ben Adir, although in the trailer had the worst accent I've ever heard in a trailer, apparently those scenes from the trailer were cut from the film. Because he nailed it. His accent was awesome. It did
Right.
not annoy me at all.
He's a good actor.
He's a good actor, but obviously he's a good accenter.
Accenter.
Because that's a whole other skill that I think people have to have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as we would normally see from biopics, these things did not make me rage. Lastly, of note, reggae music is not my favorite genre of music.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I think we can all pretty much agree on is that Exodus is probably the best album of this genre. At least I think that's the word on the street. And I had, after going to see this movie, I had to download it and listen to it on the way home. And my wife's like, why are we listening to this? We just listened to it. I'm like, yeah, now I want to listen to it again.
Yes. It's a good
The
album.
music. Yeah, it's a solid album. The music, which is constant throughout this entire film, was awesome, inspiring, and it had me tapping my foot for the entire film.
Mm.
The film comes in at a tight runtime of 1 hour and 44 minutes and basically covered only about 5 years of his life, which I gotta admit is not always my favorite when it comes to biopics. This is a love letter to Bob Marley, and if you love his music, you will at least maybe like this film. The film itself is not meaty. There we go for vegans again. As far as content about the man himself, it implies a bunch of things quickly throughout the film, but keeps us focused on the quote unquote milestone moments of his life for the 5 years it's covering. Some of the order of the things are not 100% accurate, but I can forgive that a little bit. And although he was a Rastafarian, the film wasn't preachy so much, but does refer to the religion a lot of the time and doesn't get too much in the weeds specific to the religion of the film. I mean, I didn't feel they were trying to convert me. Like, you know, through the whole thing, he's Rastafarian, but like a lot of Christian films, they're trying to convert me. He wasn't trying to convert me. You just kind of knew that this was an important thing for him and his family throughout this movie. There is a lot to cover in 5 years, and we get to see not everything, and there's a bunch of things that I feel are kind of missing from this, but the acting in this was stellar. The music was stellar. The movie overall as a US made biopic was, I would say it's meh. And usually that would have made me rage, but I enjoyed the music and I enjoyed the acting so much that I just couldn't hate the film. So yeah, it was a meh.
Okay, I'm surprised at some of that. I don't necessarily agree with most of what you said. Bob Marley, One Love is a film that seems to try hard to present the Jamaican reggae star as a saint, as it dances around some of the things that make him human. He was no saint, and that's not bad. He was tremendously important to Jamaica, and his message was tremendously important to the world. This film, however, made me feel that I was getting a pretty biased view of the man and his life. I never felt as though I was getting to know the whole story, and hence I was not getting to know the man himself, which should be the end result of a biopic. The other thing that really annoyed me was the live concert scenes did not sound live at all. It sounded like a clean studio recording with some mild crowd noise in the background, which didn't really even sync with the crowd's visual reaction, which completely took me out of every concert scene, which annoyed me because the best part of this movie was the music. As Marley sang into the mic, he swayed back and forth, and the distance between him and the mic looked like was constantly changing. Yet the mic caught his vocals as though he was singing directly into it. It just looked like bad lip syncing, and it brought the whole movie down with this lazy production and editing. It is a shame that the cast did not have more to work with, as they were all wasted in this. Although there was a bright spot in the film, not Kingsley Ben-Adir's performance as Bob Marley, which wasn't terrible, but the bright spot was the performance of Lashana Lynch as Rita Marley. She was great, and she was the only thing worth watching, as she took her character that deserves so much more development and screen time and made an impact despite not being given the focus that she deserved. At the end of the day, I felt this was an attempt to dramatize Marley's life. At the end of the day, I felt this attempt to dramatize Marley's life was a failure on too many fronts to make this anything but a rage.
I'm not going to deny it. Look, as much as you said we didn't agree, I said kind of the same things you're saying. It just didn't bother me as much.
Not as much.
Well, mostly because...
Seriously, that first concert that they showed,
yeah,
it looked terrible. Like, it was awful. I love the little things where they were in the studio or where he was strumming the guitar. That all was great. But anytime they showed concert footage, it was awful because the crowd, like, nothing felt live. I've never seen anything feel that canned. Studio albums don't sound that canned.
I'm going to 100% agree with you. But what I'm going to say is they can't have someone that's not Bob Marley try and sing Bob Marley. It's not going to work.
They can try and do something, man, because that was awful. That just took me out of it. It's like, what am I watching?
No, see, I just thought the music, because there was music all through this. Like, you couldn't escape. Bob Marley was just woven into this.
Yeah, lots of good music. So, there were some good performances.
Yeah, as a whole, I don't think the movie was great. But I couldn't get past. I thought all the performances were good. I agree with you. She was the star of this film, but I thought he also did a stellar job. Like he was he was able to emote the feeling I think the director was wanting. But I would agree with you like, I don't normally like this type of biopic, but I just couldn't get past how much I was enjoying the music. So I couldn't hate it, just because at the end of the day I had a smile on my face and it made me want to go and download the album. So it's like, right? So
it made me want to wish that they never made the movie.
Yeah.
I want a better movie about Bob Marley.
Well, so actually what I did was I went straight from the movie theater home to watch the documentary about Marley.
Well, yeah. That I understand.
And it was pretty good. So
there you go.
It kind of just rubbed off. But you know, you're 100% right. Like I was saying, this is a love letter to Bob Marley.
It absolutely is, and I get that.
It's not really about him, but it is kind of telling things that happened in his life, and it's just people going, because he, like, to your point, he's so important. It's to Jamaica's heritage and their culture and their beliefs in a lot of things, and the things that were happening during his reign of awesomeness was, pinnacle in Jamaica's future at the time, right? Like,
all true. Just I wish it was a better movie. Here's the thing. Yeah. Anytime that a family member is involved, it's not going to be good. It's produced by Ziggy Marley and a bunch of other family, and that's just going to absolutely put this through the
cloud of vision.
Yeah, you're going to get a very, very rose-colored glasses view when you involve the family.
Yeah. I mean, when in the documentary, you get to meet a lot of his girlfriends, and there's like just one scene that implies that he is not a saint when it comes to cheating on his wife.
Yep.
So I can't argue with it. I can get it. I know exactly where you're coming from.
And it's not just about this not being the film I wanted. It's supposed to be about Bob Marley, and I don't think it painted a picture of Bob Marley, and that's just it.
Painted a picture of his music and
with a terrible concert footage. Yeah. As I say, all that is undeniable. This movie just needed to be better. Anyways, whatever. I was a rage.
I agree with you. I can't deny what you're saying.
All right, next up. Woo, the one we've all been waiting for.
Oh, have we ever?
Oh, man. Madam Web. Oh, my goodness. Madam Web. This is a film that seemed to not even be trying. What was this? Some pregnant chick in the Amazon is looking for some magical spider, and some dude almost kills her and takes it from her. But then some dudes from the Amazon that apparently have been bitten, I guess, by the spiders, kill her with the venom, but save the baby with the venom. And then fast forward, 30 years or so, and she's a paramedic, and she starts having visions and can't sort of go, so she can kind of sort of go back in time and change stuff. And she sees some dude that happens to be the dude from the Amazon that killed her mom, trying to kill 3 high school girls because they're going to try and kill him at a later date. Now, that's all fine, except this chick is pretty selfish for a paramedic, and visions or no visions, I don't buy that she would even lift a finger to help these girls off the clock, but, whatever. But then there's, the really dumb part. These 3 teenage girls decide to just blindly follow this lunatic as she spouts off ridiculous things that no person would believe, even though it was all true, but, they didn't know that. And from there, they get kidnapped by this lunatic paramedic, which could be good, if that was a movie. Lunatic paramedic coming to a theater near you. I'd buy a ticket for that. But
I would too.
But this is not that movie, and this is not a good movie. This just more and more dumb happens, and then there's some more dumb that's revealed, and there's bad acting throughout. And then there's a reveal on why her mother was trying or what she was studying this, Amazonian spider that was made. I don't know. I lost track of what was going on. It's all just so dumb. So at the end of the day, I'm like, well, the reveal was meh. Unfortunately, the movie wasn't. So it implies, the worst part is there's like an implication that, you know, another chapter of this crap might be coming. And that alone makes me rage. This is just awful. I hated this. I don't even know what this was. It was the stupidest teenage girls that I've ever seen in my life. Like, why are we making teenage girls so dumb? They're not dumb. Why are these ones so dumb? I don't understand.
Well,
and why were they dancing on the table in the diner? Who does that? Nobody does that. And there's no way that the owner of the diner is going to let them do that. It's all just stupid. I hated this movie. Every single scene was just dumber than the previous one. Oh my God. What's her head? If she thought that 50 Shades of Grey was going to destroy her career, this one's definitely going to. What's her name? Frida something?
Frida.
Jasmine.
The director? Or
no, the star, Madam Web, Frida. Dakota. Dakota Johnson?
There's no Frida.
Whatever, Frida, Dakota, same thing. Dakota Johnson's terrible. She's unwatchable. I don't know why she keeps on getting work. I don't want to wish ill on anybody, but I really don't want to watch her anymore. She's really bad.
Well, the funniest thing about this.
Yes.
Once you hear what I have to say about it, I think we were in the same frame of mind when we were watching it.
It's just so stupid.
So here's what I have to say about it. 3 teenagers kidnapped by a previously dead lady who never gives them back to their families. See the future in a movie where everything was predictable. Because you saw it.
You're looking at through my eyes.
Exactly. Because she can see the future in a movie where everything was predictable. And she develops powers all of a sudden because she dies, which made no sense. And there is no real sense of anything that happens for the most part in this movie. Because, teenagers, Bryce, get to know this. Mm-hmm. Teenagers are complete idiots. Mm-hmm. Or at least that's what they want us to believe.
Yep.
And convenient movie magic saves everybody because she can see the future, where she goes back to Peru to find her past, and the people that she runs into there never teach her how to harness any of her power, because in the future of the movie they will magically all come to you, because with great responsibility comes great power. And when that line came out in the movie, I was like, oh my fucking God, what are they doing here? Like, if they're trying to spin this on the spider web thing, this is the dumbest dialogue that's ever been written. There was a few things I did like in this film, though.
All right.
Number 1, I got to see it in X. So do you know what X is?
I have no idea what X is.
Okay, so X is you're in a movie theater,
okay,
and then the sides of the movie theater also play the movie.
All right.
So it's on the sides. So as you're watching it, you can see the front and then all the sides. So if it's an action scene, you can see all these things going by you. But they never, it's actually completely defined that there's a front of the cinema, and instead of them painting the edges of the wall at the front white so that it actually fills in around, there's a giant black line that sits in the middle of it, so it just separates it. It's like you're watching 3 movies, the movie playing on 3 different screens at the same time, completely separated.
Nice.
So that was an experience. Although this was also a spoiler for the movie, because when the side screens started to turn on, you knew action was going to happen. So as much as I thought it was kind of cool, it was really badly done. This whole technology of X is literally the stupidest thing that I've ever seen. And number 2,
yes,
the first 20 minutes of this, I was neither bored or despise the film. So before she actually met the girls and she was just a paramedic, and I thought that's what was going to happen. She was going to be a psychotic paramedic that took the, the girls and
that would have been a good movie. I want Psycho Paramedic.
Yeah, so do I. And that's what I thought I was going to get for the first 20 minutes. But no, that's not what happened.
Then they wrecked it.
Yeah, exactly. So then you add teenagers and force-like powers. Again, anytime you have a superhero movie where there's force-like powers, I'm just like, okay, I'm done. And the concept of superhero movies is, I'm just like, this has all been done before. And what I was hoping was that I was not seeing another superhero movie. Just please stop making these fucking things. They're so terrible. Like, there was so much. I mean, you said it. Like, they really painted these teenage girls to be complete idiots. If they bought into the fact that, you know, they were at risk of dying, and she tells them, don't do anything stupid, and then what do? The first thing they do is go do something stupid. Like,
yeah,
give teenagers more credit that all three of them, you know, they tried to make it.
I don't even know why they were with her in the first place. It's like, it's just someone comes up and tells you just total crazy crap, and you're like, all right, let's follow her. She seems reasonable. No, she's a freaking psycho.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. No, I know. This movie was extremely painful. Like, extremely painful.
It was.
Yeah, I felt sorry because I brought my friend with me to see it, and he was like, I'm never going to see another movie with you again if this is what you're gonna make me go see. So yeah, I would say this is, I want to say, the worst superhero movie of this year.
That's a big, I don't even, what has even been out this year? Who cares? They're all bad, but it was awful. It's another one. Throw it on. As I say, it used to be superhero movie. It's no, that's not the case anymore. Superhero movie, it's a rage.
Yeah, that's almost a given. Yeah, IMDb 3.8, and that's pi.
Wow. Well, there you go. All right, sir.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
You know, my rage this week is X. That is the dumbest technology that anybody thought might be interesting. The fact that you have something that only like, it wasn't, if they had X through the entire movie, then it might make sense. But as you're watching it, and all of a sudden, oh, there's like no surprise now when action is going to happen in the movie because the sides light up. And then if you're going to make it so that it's actually an actual surround around you, somebody paint over the black edges of the screen at the front so I'm not seeing black and watching separation to the film. It's that might, they're already scaring people away from the movie theaters by bringing out movies like Madam Web. Just stop doing other stupid things to try and bring people for kitschy reasons. It's terrible.
Yep. Every single gimmick they've tried is garbage. Just X, D-Box, they're just all garbage. Yep. I hate them all. I don't even like 3D. Just stop with the 3D too. Although that's
3D's the worst.
Yeah. So here. I am on board with your rage.
Nice.
So, my rage has nothing to do with the movies. I hate driving. And can people just use their signal lights? I don't understand how you can pull up to a stoplight, stop. So I pull up behind you. and then it turns green, and then you put your left signal light on. When I could have been in the other lane to go around you, and now I've got a stream of cars beside me going, and I'm stuck behind this idiot that decides to put their signal light on after it turns green. They're sitting there, and they don't put their signal. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Plus, people are changing lanes without signaling, or it's called an indicator. You're supposed to indicate that you're changing lanes. So you don't start changing lanes and then signal. You signal, and then you change lanes. People, just learn how to use your indicator lights. It's an indicator. It's a signal. You're telling the person what you're going to do. You're not doing it and then do it. Yeah, it makes it. Yeah. That's my rage.
That's a good one.
Every now and then, you gotta just, use your rage for stuff that's just really ticking you off this week. And I hate driving to begin with, but man, people are terrible.
That was like
drivers.
a back-to-back. Because
There you go.
last week you also complained about something driving related.
Was it? Okay. Apparently, I'm really ticked off by driving lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently. It's all good.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Well, as a reminder, we are going to be back next week. It won't be a full episode again because, when I'm working away, I'm working away. And so we'll be back to our regular scheduled program in a couple weeks. But we will be back next week because there's stuff out. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to extended Film Rage family you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer and the voice of Rager there. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always wanting to make this Raging Blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, or send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 please make us rage. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on!